Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pulaski County Fiscal Court, our first regular session meeting. Good to see everyone here. We got a nice crowd this morning, so we're glad everyone's involved. And listen up, we'll have a lot of business to take care of. I want to start with a moment of silence. Certainly glad to see Jimmy back.
Thank you.
And good to see Tim here today. I know we mentioned them last week in our moment of silence. Also, Miss Hatfield Martin's mother has been sick. Remember her. So let's just bow for about 30 seconds and give thanks and count our blessings. Thank you. Thank you. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Mike Strunk will lead us in our pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good to see everyone again. We'll get started with our meeting. I hope everything's going well on the air. I think we had a little bit of delay the last time, but hope everything is good. We will continue to live stream these meetings for public interest, and we have an open court. I will ask for a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting, and also it would be the December the 13th, I think, is the last regular court, plus the special call we had last week. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes as read?
Motion.
Ranshaw makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Strunk makes a second. All in favor, say aye.
Before we do that, I got one change.
Yeah. Got some discussion on the minutes?
On number 4.
Which one?
For last month's meeting, December's meeting. It says here in the note that we took out a purchase agreement for the 5 tractors that we purchased. And it says here we paid a total of $131,116.25. That actual number, the total cost for all 5 mowers was $1,131,116.25. So we need to adjust the minutes.
Are you sure we need to adjust that?
Yeah, I know. It would be nice if we didn't have to.
Any other discussion on that? We're changing the numbers on the previous approved minutes. We had the wrong amount on that, bad as I hate to say.
I'd have to add $1 million. I'd like to read it.
Any other discussion on that, with that change? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Go into old business. We're doing a second reading of the administrative code. It was read at the December 13th meeting, and it pertained to vacation time, some things like that. Any other discussion on that?
I think there was also a position description added for the position you wanted
Yes.
to change from executive secretary.
Correct.
Yeah, there was a few minor changes.
There was some minor changes in the code book.
Executive assistant to the county judge / public information officer was added as a position description.
All right. Any other discussion on that change?
Motion to accept it.
Second.
Mr. Trunk makes a motion, Mr. Wilson seconds. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We have an amendment to the salary that was posted at the special call meeting last week for one of my positions that I had named. It was posted as too high and as a mistake at the previous meeting. we have that correction today. It lowers the salary. Any other discussion on that?
Motion.
Mr. Strunk makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Turpin makes a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. In new business, does anyone have any other old business? New business. I tell you, I need to back up. I do have one item in old business that was presented to me yesterday. I got an email yesterday from the Foothills Academy, the FAHI consulting group that we hired previous meeting. She says they still do not have all the documentation that in order to get that money. It's over $1 million, and it's coming to us next week. But I need a motion made for me to sign documents, for the past administration had the authority to do that. I need a motion for me to continue to make authorization of that money. The Lieutenant Governor's office will be here next week with a check, and we don't get that check unless I'm able to sign. Could I have a motion for that?
Motion. Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. It's just a matter of housekeeping. They're going to build a transitional housing down at the corner of Wallace Avenue and Old Monticello Street for transitional people that's coming out of the Foothills Academy in Wayne County. They're going to move them to here. They're 18-year-old, and they move up a place to get where they can get a job, go to college, move their life along. Thank you all. New business. We have a bid opening for some bids that were received from EMS for some equipment they needed. Mr. Hatfield has them right here. We're going to open them in open court.
Looks like there's 3 of them.
Hey, Judge, I noticed on the agenda,
Steve, would you step here?
that it just had the mechanical CPR. There's also one for stretchers as well. It just got left off the agenda, but it was advertised
We
just
have-
the same as the mechanical CPR, so it is 2 separate items that we're bidding.
Change this one.
Yes, we have both.
Okay.
I assume these were all received in a timely manner.
They were.
This is from Zoll, Z-O-L-L, and it's a bid for a mechanical chest compression system. It's got several sections to it, so I won't go through all of those. Let's see if it's got a summary anywhere. I don't see a summary. Not sure how they got that one in the envelope. This is from Stryker, mechanical CPR bid. There's several different numbers in here, so looks like the grand total on this one is $119,512.95. Unless I'm missing something.
What was the amount on the first one, Martin?
Pardon me?
The amount
On this one? I
on the
just-
first one, I'm sorry.
I couldn't really find a total amount anywhere in there.
Been a while since your dad to do that. You need a knife?
No, they're making these a lot easier to get into now.
Are you sure?
Mercy.
Knife you had.
I know, I left it at the office.
I've got one if you need it.
This is a bid from Stryker as well. Same company. And it's for power heist. Is that the stretchers you're talking about, I guess?
Power, yeah, the power.
Power something, power
those
assist,
spots.
power assist. Looks like the grand total is 278,113.04.
We have the bids on these items. I want to appoint a committee to review them, and we'll get back in 2 weeks at our January 24th meeting.
Motion to accept for review.
Second.
Mr. Strunk makes a motion, Wilson seconds.
I have a question.
Discussion?
Just reiterate, these are bids that is earmarked for the commitment we have with the city, and it's gonna come out of the ARPA money, right? It doesn't come out of our normal budget?
Correct.
Okay.
Joan, looks like per your question on the first bid that was opened, as best I can tell, the total is 83,995.35.
Thank you.
You're gonna appoint somebody for me to give these to?
Yes. Did we pass on that last motion?
We didn't vote on it.
We didn't vote.
All in favor of going to review on these bids, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I want to appoint Josh Whitus, Beverly Haynes, Steve Eubank to review those bids and report back to us at the next court meeting.
I'll give them to the clerk, and she'll have them for you guys to pick up.
We will move on to department reports. County Clerk. You'll come front and center, Tim, and just present what you have. Looks like a budget.
First of all, let me say, good morning to everybody. This is a new position for me. I count it an honor and privilege to serve as your county clerk and look forward to working with you guys in the future. It's a learning experience for me, but I know all you guys, and I know you have the county's best interest at heart, and I really appreciate that. You guys have really been good to work with in the past. One other thing, if I could, I'd like to introduce my chief deputy. Wendy Price will be my chief deputy in the clerk's office. So in my absence, you can check with her. And then on to business now. First item is, I'd like to present the county clerk's budget for 2023 and ask the court to accept the 2023 budget as a whole.
Go ahead and present.
The next one, too? Okay. And then I would like to present the annual order setting maximum amount of deputies and assistants and ask the court to accept it.
Okay. Let's back up and vote on the first one then, Tim.
Okay.
Motion to accept the budget.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to accept his budget. All in favor?
Question.
Got a question on?
Real quick, I know we just got these. So on the budget, And first of all, I'm sorry for your loss, and we all are, and appreciate everything that you done. You came in right afterwards and went right to work even though with your loss, so.
Appreciate that.
This budget here, I didn't have a chance to review budgets from last year. Was there, how much of an increase in this budget was there from the previous year?
Actually, really wasn't an
Was it?
increase. We adjusted some numbers around, and things like that. But actually, as far as increase,
So we're pretty much the same?
yeah, pretty much.
And then my only other question is there any additional personnel you're adding to this budget? Or are you gonna stay?
I do plan to hire, additional employees. Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Yes, I do plan, but we have figured for that in the budget.
It's already in the budget, and it's about
Yes.
the same as last year.
Yeah,
All right, thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Any other discussion? All in favor for voting for this motion on the or on the budget?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. The salary cap, I need a motion on the salary cap.
Motion. Second.
Mr. Wilson makes the motion. Who made the second?
Give me.
Mr. Wilden. Any discussion on that item? I know it's just in front of you now. Hearing no discussion, we'll call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Go ahead and present your personnel.
One other thing, Judge, if I could, I had scheduled for the personnel policy. We have not got that finished up yet. Hopefully by next meeting, I'll be able to present that to you guys for approval. And that's all I have at this time.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
And thank you all.
I want to call the sheriff.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, I'd like to start out by thanking Teresa Bryant. She's the brains behind this operation. Been in the sheriff's office 25 years, and the budget's a new beast for me, and I just want to publicly thank her for that. With that being said, everybody should have a copy of the 2023 budget and maximum salary. I've got, looks like 4 different motions that I'm going to have here. First motion is I need to make a motion to accept the 2023 budget as a whole.
Motion. Second.
Wilden makes a motion. Mr. Strunk makes a second. Any discussion on that?
I just want to say thank you for getting it to me in time to review.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? All in favor of that motion on the budget, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Go ahead, Bobby.
The second is I need to make a motion to accept the 23 maximum salaries for the sheriff's office employees in the amount of $2,670,000.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Wilson makes a motion. Mr. Ranshaw, second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes.
I also need to make a motion to allow the sheriff's office to apply for a $200,000 interest-free advance from the state.
Motion.
Second.
Ranshaw makes a motion. Mr. Strunk is a second. Any discussion on this?
This is an annual thing that you have to do.
It's
for
an
the
annual
budget,
thing. I don't
right?
know that this has been brought before, but we were reading upon it. It says to bring it to fiscal court's attention. We've done it previously.
It's just like a
We do it
reserve,
every year.
it's just like a reserve account,
It
just in
is.
case.
It is something, we have to interest-free loan that we pay back.
Just so the people understand what that is
Sure.
for.
They start out with no money, Mark. They have to have it for operating.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay?
You got one more?
Yes, one more. I have a check, the good part.
We like that.
I have a check to remit to fiscal court for the 22 excess fees in the amount of $100,000. I need a motion from fiscal court to accept this check.
Motion.
Motion. Second.
Hold up here.
You gotta be prepared when they give us money.
Wilson makes a motion to accept. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Renshaw, second. Any discussion?
It was pretty quick when they're giving us money.
Hearing no discussion, all in favor, vote aye.
Nah.
Any opposed? Thank you. Thanks, Bobby.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll call 911 Personnel Director Beverly Haynes.
Good morning.
Good morning, Beverly.
I have a couple of things today. The first one, I would like to get the court's permission to hire Alicia Stout as part-time.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion to hire part-time from Mr. Wilson and a second from Mr. Renshaw. Any discussion on this part-time hire?
Part-time, $12 an hour.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
The second thing I have is something that's new to me, so bear with me, because I'm going to get tongue-tied on it. Lake Cumberland ad came to us and wanted us to amend minutes in a previous meeting on a county road, and it's Chapel Way. It was documented in 2022 that it was 1,000 feet in length. It is 727 feet in length. It ends at the very last driveway. There's no road after that. And they need it amended in the minutes for the correction. It's a state and county regulation that it all be correct. So I'm bringing that here. It was recorded February 22nd of 2022, and we need to have that changed to the correct feet in length.
Has that been verified, Dennis, the measurement?
We verified it.
911.
Address,
Aaron
yes.
All right, I think you just need a motion to,
Amend the minutes.
well, no, I'd just go back and reduce the length of the county road to this 727 feet.
So I don't need to do this.
Well, no, it'll be in the minutes.
It'll be in
that we're
these
discussing.
minutes.
Okay, awesome.
We don't have to
Okay.
go back and change the other minutes.
Okay.
But I make a motion that we reduce the length of the road as necessary.
Mr. Renshaw makes a motion.
727 feet.
727 feet.
Do I have a second on that motion? Mr. Weldon makes a second. Any discussion, any more discussion on that? We must get these roads measurements correct. Thanks, Beverly, for bringing that up, because it's very important when you get that call at 2 a.m. that you've got the right address to go to. We have a motion on the floor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
That's all I have.
Beverly, just stay right where you're at. You may have more. She was appointed as interim director at 911 back some time ago, in July. And I want to bring forth a motion, or ask for a motion to take the interim off of her name and name her director of 911.
Motion.
Mr. Wilson makes a motion, and Mr. Renshaw makes a second. Any discussion on that? I think she's doing a wonderful job. Since she's got there, she's only just been there like 25 years, but since she was appointed as interim, she's took charge. And I thank you for that.
I appreciate that.
We have a motion on the floor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations, Beverly.
Thank you very much.
Beverly, can I catch you after the meeting?
I want to make one change to the agenda. We got in a little bit late on the road list. We did have a request from Dennis, our new road supervisor, that we need 3,000 ton of rock.
Motion.
Mr. Wilson makes a motion.
Second.
Mr. Trunk makes a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And also, you have road list in front of you to approve. I need a motion for that. Look over the road work request. You know, we're new at this, or at least I am, and I'm going to ask the magistrates to get their road list in a little bit earlier. We only got some of them this morning, and it really puts us in a bind because we want to be open with this. So ask the magistrates to get the road list in at least the day before so we can have it all typed out and in front of you so you'll have time to look at it. We don't want to last minute these things. And also, while I'm on that, we'll ask for any items that are going on the agenda for the following Tuesday to have them in to us by at least Thursday noon. Because we want to get this stuff published in the paper and on Facebook and wherever it needs to go, so we don't have any omissions at the end of the day trying to push things through. This time was a little bit difficult because we were only in office last Tuesday and we come in really quick, and so try to get everything to us at our office early. All right.
Motion to approve the road list.
Mr. Strunk makes a motion to approve, and Mr. Ranshaw says second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Road list passes. Joan, we got your report next.
The first item I have would be the bill list for January.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Renshaw has a motion to approve. Mr. Strunk, second. Any discussion on the bill list? I would ask the magistrates to look at the bill list very closely as we go forward. We want to get that to you early to look at it. It's quite large, but let's be very careful going forward with that. Any other discussion? I have a motion on that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
The next item I have would be the bank reconciliation for December, which ended also another quarter.
Motion to approve the bank reconciliation.
Motion from Mr. Renshaw,
Second.
second from Mr. Wheeldon. Any discussion?
I just want to say that looking over the bank reconciliations, I think we're going to have to, for the next 6 months, really tighten our belts a little bit in some areas to get through this budget process, so, and make some adjustments to the budget to make it work out for the county. So there are some areas that we're really low on, and I think Marshall probably knows what those are, and I think he'll probably discuss that, but there's a couple areas in our budget that we're getting really critically low in.
Thanks, Mark. I would like to discuss this briefly, and I don't want to say too much. You know, state law requires that I'm left with 35% of the budget. And I went over these bill lists I just got some of them in the bank reconciliation yesterday. And we're at a critical state right now. There was a lot of money spent in the last month or two, and it's budget-wise, I realize I'm not saying we're out of money, but budget-wise, we are exhausted. We're under 20% on the road fund for the remaining 6 months. We're under 20% on the fire fund for 6 months to go. And I'm somewhat I'm more than somewhat concerned about that because we should have had 35. The December bills were just paid today, and they're going to really run us critical. So I politely ask the magistrates to examine the bill list. Be very careful going forward with your spending because we're at a critical mass right now, especially if we get a snowstorm or some emergency. We're going to have to dip into other funds. When you take a $42 million budget and you divide it up into 7 or 8 accounts, if 2 counts run out, where's the other money coming from? I realize we have funds left over from previous years, but why make a budget if we can't follow it? Because we're not Congress and we don't print money. So let's be very careful going forward. I'm not blaming magistrates or blaming the court. It's just some things that have occurred that I was concerned with occurring with the outgoing administration, and they have occurred. And because I saw the work request, who signed the papers, some are still coming in, and it is very critical that we move forward with caution. So with that being said, is there any more discussion? We have a motion to accept the bank reconciliation and a second. Is there any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And I'd also like to add to that, in defense of the finance department, a lot of these bills came in without POs, and they came in when the work had already been completed.
Correct.
Which, once work is completed, as you know, it has to be paid for.
Correct.
So we were not, I don't want to say it was justified, but we had to do what we had to do also. So, no excuse, but it had to be done.
I understand. I'm going to ask, since you bring that up, that we get POs and work release request on the request before anything is done. We don't want, I don't want to go out a road and find stuff being done
I don't either.
that is not been approved. And that's what's happened for a long time.
Yes.
I want that to cease. If I have to go further with it, I will do that.
And I thank you for that, because we have preached and preached until we are blue, because what happens is you and I we'll take the hit on the audit. It's not going to be anybody else but us, and that kind of is not fun
I agree with you, John.
at all.
I agree. To make an announcement, since John mentioned it, the auditors, the state auditors are in the building now. So that going forward, we have to be cautious. Thank you.
Thank you. The last item I have are fund transfers. I just have one fund transfer, and I do apologize. For some reason, I thought that today was the 11th all day long. So I did put the 11th on the fund transfer, so I do change that to the 10th. But I have one transfer, and it's to the jail from the general fund for $200,000.
Motion.
Second. I have a motion from Mr. Wilson, and a second from Mr. Wheeldon. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I do believe that's all I have. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Joan. We've got jail. Anthony, do you have anything to bring up except the executive session on the land? Okay, we'll hold that till last, and then we'll go in executive session for that, which will be brief. Citizens' comments. Do we have anyone here for a citizen's comment? If we do, I'd like to approach the podium and state your name and where you live. Well, I'm shocked. But that's good. The complaints will come later.
Room full of people and nobody to talk.
I think that takes care of it.
The executive session is regarding the potential acquisition of property, which under KRS 61.831 subsection 1B would be an appropriate executive session topic. So you need a motion and a second.
Need a motion to go in executive session. Mr. Wilson says motion.
Second.
Mr. Ranshaw has a second. We will go in executive session. We'll go to the back room here. All in favor of that, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll be in executive session. It'll only last a few minutes. You're welcome to hang around, and then we'll be returning.
Back to work.
That wasn't 2 weeks, that was just a week.
I need a motion to come out of executive session.
Motion.
Oops, second.
Mr. Wilson makes the motion, Mr. Renshaw seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're out of executive session. We'll announce there was no action taken. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Mr. Wilson motions to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Turpin makes a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you all very much. We'll see you in 2 weeks.